think it feels really good not having to feel the pressure of like intense situations, and I feel like not putting ourselves in those situations is better off for us as a team.
And Kenna, same question for you.
I mean, kind of the same thing. Just being in intense games, it's kind of like we have to execute, and in these games, it's like more fun because we can play more relaxed and just like kind of rely on everyone else to like do their part.
And Kenna, going from year 1 to year 2 now in your sophomore season, how much more acclimated are you with this team and the system and just really overall?
I mean, definitely coming in, it's hard as a freshman. It's a lot of new things. It's a lot of like small things to learn. So coming in as a sophomore, it's a lot easier just because I've done the defense that she wants. I've ran the plays pretty much, and it's just a lot easier because I don't have to learn everything completely new.
Lexie, you've been getting into the starting lineup lately for you, increased role on this team. How does that feel, and what's really gone into it to get to this point for you personally?
It feels great. I feel like what people don't see is like the work you put in, like in practice and like outside of like in games, and to actually like be able to play and showcase everything that the coaches like have taught me and helped me grow to learn is exciting.
And Kenna, not only are y'all getting wins, you're stacking wins up 5 in a row now, excuse me. What has really in this stretch gone into what you've been able to do as a team?
I think really it was just like coming together and like realizing how like capable we are as a team. In the beginning, it was a little tough just because we did have a few losses, but coming off like multiple wins, we've just come together and like played the best that we possibly can individually.
Alexia, I think, if memory serves me correctly, that might have been the loudest that bench was near the end of that fourth quarter when everyone was getting in there. What's it like to be on the bench and see, literally everyone getting in and getting some shine out there?
Yeah, I get really hyped and excited to see my teammates succeed and do well on the court, so it was very fun and encouraging.
A strong defensive performance. What was the message to you guys to really just zone in on your defensive play this week?
To play our defensive principles. We're a really good defensive team, and sometimes we don't show that, so we need to like be more consistent is basically what we were told.
Yeah, I mean, I think the same thing. Honestly, just like consistency, because we all know that like we're capable of doing like the best defense we possibly can. It's just like showing it every single game and doing it at every possession.
43 points off the bench, that's pretty incredible. So what does that say about your team and how much improvement has gone into your offense?
I think it just really shows like how hard we all work at practice and everything. Like even if you're coming off the bench, you're working as hard as you can, and there's never really like a let up from like 1 through 18 of our team. So it's just really like proud of everyone who came and just did their part. That's it.
You guys have is it one more game before conference play begins, or two? I'm not sure.
We have one game and then a tournament.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
tournament. What do you guys want to achieve in this last few games before heading into conference play?
I would say ending preseason strong and going into conference strong, because we play a lot of tough teams in conference and we need to be prepared and ready.
I would say just like staying together still and just like being consistent with every part of our game.
Do you guys go and celebrate? How do you guys, or do you just like it's to keep cool because you still got more games before conference? Like, how do you guys celebrate but not get too ahead of yourself?
Well, Amanda always says like ride out the win, until the end of the night, but the next day, we're on to the next team, and getting ready during practice to work hard.
Yeah, I think like we have an off day tomorrow, so like celebrate that and just like be happy with our win. But once we get back, like we'll be scouting for the next team and we'll be ready for them.
Yeah, they've really continued just to get better throughout the course of our season so far, and we needed to because the way we started wasn't, I think, what we're capable of as a group. The bench lift was phenomenal again, and it's really nice to be able to play some of the players that haven't really seen any court time this year that work hard every single day in practice. And we have a couple local players as walk-on players that really, battle our players every single day. Alexis Elquist and Hannah Hartley. So it was really cool to get them in the game today. And, they actually did really good things when they went in.
Hey, Coach, when you get those gals, as you mentioned, in some playing time, your bench just seems to really erupt. Well, what does that really do for a team when you're able to get those gals in there?
Yeah, I think, our team, the players on our team, they understand how hard those players work every single day in practice. Like, they know firsthand. And it's so cool to see them get so excited, for each other like that. almost to a fault though. I think everyone's so excited that sometimes it almost makes them like too nervous, I guess, because they're just going nuts. But I love that about our team. I feel like regardless of who's in the game, our bench energy is really, really good, and they really want to see each other do well.
And there was a lot of things y'all did well tonight. Out of all the just like one-sided stats you're looking at on the stat sheet, which one really stood out to you?
Well, we were struggling in terms of assisted turnover. I think in the middle of the third quarter, the end of the third quarter, we still had more turnovers than assists, and we finished with 18 assists and 9 turnovers. And so I really love that stat because it just means we're sharing the ball and not trying to do too much individually. And then, 22 offensive rebounds. That's a great job of our team hunting second, third, and fourth opportunities to score.
And it's no secret you've been, in a ton of close games this season, but to really just go out there and squash somebody this time around, what does that do for a team and how really does that feel?
I think for us, we're still learning to put together complete games. And even in the first half, I thought we had opportunities to pull away and we had let-ups, and that's something we're still learning. And I thought in the second half, our defense was much better. I really challenged them at halftime to come out and defend and work together better on offense. And I thought in the second half, that was a more complete start to finish, but that's something as a team I think that we need to figure out for 4 quarters to be a really good team consistently, especially when we get into Mountain West Conference play. And the other thing is just fouling. We're fouling too much, and we're making the same fouling mistakes as some of our teammates, and we need to learn from each other's mistakes and not go in and do the same thing and give away points at the line.
If you had to narrow it down, just one thing you need to do before Bushnell comes in, I believe another NAIA opponent, is that correct?
Yeah.
What is that one thing that you want to harp on and get across your team before Saturday?
I think just the fouling, honestly. Just we need to stop putting people in the bonus, especially in the first half. And then we have players that are playing big minutes in our rotation that we're having to sit down because of foul trouble, and that hurts our rotation. And then players are playing more minutes than they should, and maybe that leads to some fatigue in the second half.
Another solid night by Audrey Roden. Did you expect her to be just a power force prior to the season, and what can you say about her progress just as far?
Honestly, yes. We knew that she would be a high energy player on both ends, and we knew that she was capable of scoring, and she definitely can score. She probably can score in more ways than she got here. We knew she was a tremendous shooter, but her ability to put it on the floor and do some things like that has been really impressive to us. And she's so coachable, and she's in the gym, and she wants to get better. And it's cool to see the things that she's working on in the gym pay off in the game. So I'm happy for her. I think she's a great fit for how we want to play, and she's made us a lot better.
A quiet night for Deja Hamilton, but she takes it with so much poise and still keeps her team hype even if she's not having the offensive night. What can you just say about her as a leader?
I think her passing was pretty tremendous too. I thought she got other people opportunities, and it didn't seem like she really had it going, and she didn't force it. And for her, she wants to win. And if she scores 20 points and we lose, she's not going to be happy with that. If she scores 2 points and we win, she's okay with that. She's not worried necessarily about her stat line, but she is a great teammate, and she's one of the most hyped players you could see on the bench when other players were in.
A few more games before conference play begins. What's the focus before that?
We just have to keep getting better, honestly. We have a long stretch of practice next week before we go to Washington, and that's a great challenge up there in Seattle that we're excited about. But the things I mentioned earlier in terms of, the fouling, taking care of the ball, press attack was a huge focus tonight because we haven't been as good against that as we needed to be. And I thought today we were really good against the press early in the game, and then they went away from it. So those things, I think, and then just, the let-ups, eliminating the let-ups and putting together consistent possessions.